Hi, we just finished meeting for intonation practice on March 13th, and we started with let me know when you're done. And that would be totally correct, but you don't have to say let me, you can just say let me. Let me know when you're, instead of a perfect your, it can be your. Let me know when you're done. Let me know when you're done. Done will stretch out at the end. Can will always shorten to just kin. And so you won't notice it. The emphasis will be on the verb. Can I talk? Can I talk? Can I talk to you for a little bit? Fura, I can say fora. You can also fura, make it a little less stressed because it's not important. For a little bit, little, the T's change to D's, and you won't hear the T at the end. You just hold the tongue in the T position. Can I talk to you for a little bit? Do you need help with something? Do you, instead of do you, because do you need help with something would sound really annoyed. Um, do you need help with something? Do you need help with something? It's a yes no question, so it's going to go up. What part of that don't you understand? What parda, I don't have to say of, I can say parda, that, don't say the T. Don't you, the T and the Y next to each other will make a chew. Understand. And since it's not a yes no question, it starts with a question word what. It will start high and come down. So, what part of that don't you understand? What part of that don't you understand? You have to be there on time. A lot of these could be emphasized in a different way. Like, you have to be there on time. You have to be there on time. You have to be there on time. But I went with have to. Anytime you have to, it's never a v, it's always have to. Well, you can say to have to. You have to be there on time. You have to be there on time. Be there on. This will connect. I have to go. I have to go. I have been living in Florida for 10 years now. I'm going to change I have to a contraction because anytime you can make a contraction in spoken English, you do. I've I've been living. You don't have to say living with the back ing. You can make it more casual and say living, and the tongue ends in the front. And now that connects to in and will sound like living in. I've been living in Florida, Florida, and you can say for or for 10 years now. I've been living in Florida for 10 years now. I grew up in Broward. I grew up, make sure you round your lips, grew up in, we'll all connect, grew up in Broward. This was a question about how are these the same or different? Maybe you go to a restaurant and they ask you how many people are in your party. How many people in your party? How many people are you with? How many people are with you? Or how many people are there with you? How many people in your party? How many people do you have? Or how many people do you have with you? These are all variations using different words, but just asking the same basic question. How many people? And sometimes when you go to a restaurant and you check in, they don't even use the whole sentence. They just say, how many? So we played with those. How many people are with you? No, the first one was, how many people are you with? Don't you? The T and the Y make a ch, and you can stay a you, don't you? Or it can change to ya, don't ya? Why are you trying to ruin my life? Why are, when you go from high Y, it slides down and makes a ah. Why are you trying? I went try because my tongue's going high. Trying to. You don't have to say to, and this T changes to a D. Trying to. Ruin. It doesn't look like it, but there is a W because you're rounding your lips for ru and then unrounding for in. Ruin. My life. Why are you trying to ruin my life? This was a question about when does the sound like E and when does it sound like And there is a rule, kind of. It sounds like E, the, when it's before a vowel. So the apple. It sounds like the when it's before a consonant. So the banana. But people don't speak and think of these rules, and they use different ones all the time, and it doesn't matter because the is usually not an important part of the sentence. The United States or the United States. Technically, United, the sound of you is really the same as you, me, you. So that means it starts with a Y, which is a consonant. So you should use the United States. But the United States. Either way, they're both fine. Fortunately or unfortunately, spoken English doesn't follow the strict rules that grammar does. But it's nice to know that there is some rule behind everything in case you really wanted to know which one to use. Let's catch up sometime. Let's catch up. I said catch, like but you could also say catch. So either way is fine. My dialect is catch. I'll try it with catch. Let's catch up sometime. Catch. Let's catch up sometime. Catch. Let's catch up sometime. It's pretty hard to notice because the word isn't stressed, so it's a shorter vowel. This was a question about catch up, meaning let's get together and talk about what has happened since we last saw each other. The same meaning can be keeping up with. So you missed something. I haven't been keeping up with that show means I haven't watched it consistently and I've missed some. You can also use catch up as I didn't hear that, I didn't understand that. So I didn't catch what you said. Could you please repeat it? You can say that, meaning I missed something. I didn't catch what you said. Can you please repeat it? I had it. You didn't give me enough time. I had it. The connection had it. You didn't. I'm not going to say the middle D or the T. Didn't. Did. Put your tongue in the D position. Didn't. Didn't. Gimme. You don't have to say the V at all. You can just push it together and say gimme. Enough. Enough time. I had it. You didn't give me enough time. I didn't. Oh, this expression I wrote both ways. You can stress I didn't. I didn't. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's how I did. I didn't know that. Didn't know that. Didn't know that. Or put the stress on no. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. What's going on? Going changes to go win, and I spelled it the way it sounds like win or lose. Go win. Non. What's going on? What have you been up to lately? What have changes to what have. What have. What have you been up to? And that in connects. What have you been up to? And what have you can get shortened. Drop the have, push the T and the Y together, and now you have a cha. And you changes to a whatcha. What you been up to? Whatcha. What you been up to? Let me know when you're done. Can I talk to you for a little bit? Do you need help with something? What part of that don't you understand? You have to be there on time. I have to go. I've been living in Florida for 10 years now. I grew up in Broward. How many people are you with? Don't you? Don't ya? Why are you trying to ruin my life? The apple, oops, the apple, the banana, the United States. Let's catch up sometime. Oh, I said catch. It can also be catch. Let's catch up sometime. I haven't been keeping up with that show. I didn't catch what you said. Could you please repeat it? I had it. You didn't give me enough time. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Or I didn't know that. What's going on? What have you been up to? What you been up to? All right. All right. That's it. Thanks. It was good to see everybody, and I hope to see you again next Wednesday or next Tuesday for pronunciation practice. That's it. Have a good evening.